We'll continue with the discussion. We were talking about the hunger and thirst and how that is the death. And the other thing that is being discussed in this particular Brahman is that the self entered creation, identifying with it, thus becoming the experiencer in all beings. The self is the life in breath, that is prana, and functions through speech, sight, and hearing. This is what we were discussing. The self distributed functions among the devatas or gods and became their inner controller, antaryamin. The gods tried to claim supremacy, that is devatas, but only through the self did their powers work. The self enabled the devatas to overcome evil, proving its hidden supremacy. So this is done again in terms of that Onkara Upasana, like in Chandogya Upanishad, where here it is again called Udgita, and how the demons, are troubling the devatas, and how the demons are, the devatas are the indriyas, and they are being troubled by their own graha ati graha. They want to grasp things. Each sense wants to grasp whatever vishaya artha we say, that is the objects that it is interested in, and that becomes a demon. And the self is annulled by the senses, but it is that which makes them function. So you see, again and again, what is it that we have to understand when we try to understand what is Atma or Brahman? That the Atma within is the one which is making the senses work. The senses cannot independently do anything. So those who know the self as an inner controller realize the unity behind all diversity. The self cannot be seen or grasped, but is unseen. It is the unseen seer, the unheard hearer. Knowing this self leads to immortality. All else is transient and perishable. This is to give you an idea of the bird's eye view before, where the fourth Brahmana of the first Adhyaya, where the Aham Brahmasmi Mahavakya comes. You see, in the fourth Brahmana, it starts like this: Atmevedam Agra Asit Purusha Vidaha. That means this Purusha Akara itself became Atma. And it tried to introspect and then found that there was nothing different from it. So that is why in the beginning it was Aham Asmi, I alone am there. And therefore, this is called by the name Aham, I. See, Sri Ramakrishna also says, try to search for this I within you, the I consciousness. That is being now explained. And finally, it culminates in that particular, Mahavakya where it comes. But before that, there are a few more shlokas. Now, thinking that he's all alone, here by Brahma or Atma here refers to Hiranyagarbha, because he's the firstborn, and therefore he gets very scared. And that is why even today, when a human being is alone, he feels he is very afraid. Actually, then suddenly he gets the jnana that what is there to be afraid of? Only where something other than me exists, then only I have to be afraid of it. If I am alone, what is there to be afraid of? So, like that, he this particular Hiranyagarbha thinks like this, and then wants to become many, and then you know how the srishti takes place, and finally from that very thing this Aham Brahmasmi Vakya comes in the I think the 10th mantra of this particular Brahmanam, that is first Adhyaya, 10th Brahmanam. This is why we are studying it, because we are only picking out only those mantras or portions of Brhadaranyakopanishad where we understand how it is explaining to us what is Brahman. Because our task is right now to understand what is Brahman. So let us see what this particular mantra now tells us. That is the first Adhyaya, fourth Brahmana, and the 10th mantra. Brahma va idamagra asid atmanam eva ved aham brahmasmi iti. It was in the beginning Brahman only. But it tried to then that very Brahman tried to understand itself as Brahman. Then it became all, Sarva. Eh? And, each devata who understood this, became that Brahman itself. In the same way, the rishis and the human beings, whoever understands that he is Brahman, becomes Brahman. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. Eh? That is, you see, for example, it is quoted here about Vamadeva Rishi, who just when he is born, he says, Aham Manu, I am Manu, I am Surya, I am Manu, I am Sun. And then he immediately understands, I am Brahman, and then he becomes everything. So, from this individual to the cosmos, and we understand that that same Brahman is there within us. This is what that Aham Brahmasmi Vakya comes from. And you see, let us see how that Aham Brahmasmi Vakya comes in this particular way. तदिदम अपि एतर्हि एवं वेदाहं ब्रह्मास्मि इति स इदगुं सर्वं भवति तस्य न देवाश्च न भूत्या ईशते आत्मा हि येषां स भवति. That means anyone who understands that this Atma is Brahman becomes Brahman. So Brahman is pervading everything, because that is how we understand this world has come from Brahman, and the Karya cannot be different from the Karana, and in this way this is explained. So this particular thing is described, and actually there's a big long bhashya on this particular mantra, but our purpose is to understand the gist and the essence of it, so we are not going into the details of that. From each of these different varnas came, the Brahmana came, Kshatriya came and all, but you see why Brahman is there. Brahman is there to keep the Kshatriya under control. Kshatriya will have a lot of bala, strength, and he can destroy anything. So he has to be kept under check. So Brahman comes. That's how it is explained. The Brahmana Jati, the Shudra Jati, everyone has to follow. The Brahman keeps them all under check. And that is how in the same Brahmana, the 14th mantra, it is explained how Dharma came into existence. This is a very interesting thing that Dharma comes, you see, otherwise, whatever happens, the man who is very powerful would like to subjugate the one who is with less power or less strength. So to check that, we need Dharma, so that nobody, exploits the other. That is why Dharma is coming into the picture. So he says that see, with Dharma, even the weak person can try to win over the person who is strong, because you can always quote Dharma to do that. So the Dharma is, when we say Dharma, it means that is the truth. You see, Sri Ramakrishna always stressed this truth. He gave up everything. He said, I cannot give away truth. I can't say that truth and untruth means same to me. Satya, asatya, that cannot be the same for me, Sri Ramakrishna says. It is this that here in the Brhadaranyakopanishad we get reference to what Sri Ramakrishna says. Then this portion stresses the importance of Atma Upasana, Atmopasana, why it is necessary. There are these 4 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. The Brahmana uses Agni to do the yajna. The Kshatriya is supposed to protect it. The Vaishya is supposed to provide the necessary materials for this yajna. And the Shudra is supposed to do the service to help the yajna to go. So each one is a complementary each one's function is complementary to the other's function, and as a whole the society functions because all these 4 people come together to do a yajna. Yajna means what? That is this as the socially one gets together to do a particular thing, and that they are sacrificing things in the Agni is only symbolic. Because everybody has to come together to do these things. Now we will get a glimpse of, you see, what